I think there's an innocence that we all have to protect, and I think this, for the most part, is what most people are trying to protect in their lives. And the innocence that I'm trying to protect is actually you. You know what I'm saying? There's an internal innocence that you always kind of gotta like protect. And what I mean with that is like sometimes in this life, you got to make sure that you watching out for yourself and you making sure that you are good in anything that you get into in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about it from the perspective of this extremely selfish, like, just generation that we in right now, where everybody just like, I do whatever I want, like it's all me, bop bop bop. No, 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 no. What I'm talking about it from the perspective is that you out there and you really trying to do well by people. You're trying to help people, but oftentimes, sometimes our greatest gifts can also be our greatest weaknesses. It could be our greatest downfall, and sometimes it's your ability to give and to give people chances and to help and stuff like that. That you expose yourself to a certain degree around people, and if you're around the wrong people, this type of exposure will kill you because people will drain you dry. They will not be grateful for anything that you do. They will never be appreciative for what you do. So you'll be running yourself ragged. And then at the end of the day, you won't get anything back. And people don't even have the nerve to say thank you in a sincere and genuine way. It's because they never was appreciative of what you was giving to them in the very first place. And this could put you in a place where you're extremely jaded, very scarred. And you might be at a place where you're not really trying to help nobody else. You'll be in a bitter space because based off of what you was given to somebody else, and they didn't reciprocate that energy and put it right back into you. If anything, they gave you they middle finger. They gave you their butt to kiss and told you what you're gonna do about it, or whatever the case may be. But they'll say something like, "So I ain't tell you to do it." You know what I mean? But you do that stuff for the ones that you got the most love for. You'll go out there and aid or do what you need to do to make sure everybody else is good. And so this is the generation of population of people I'm talking about. So you do have a level of selflessness that you have. But oftentimes, again, that selflessness around the wrong people, given to the wrong people, it is going to kill you. You can't give what is holy to dogs. You can't give what is valuable to those who will never appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that's always going to be in the wrong. You're the one that's always going to be hurt or whatever the case may be. Whereas everybody else, they around there laughing, giggling, and having the time of their life. And then they'll turn, when you in the time of need or whatever case may be, you don't even necessarily even need recognition from people, but it's a level of respect and like understanding what you did. People wouldn't even give you that. They'll walk over you over in the street like you ain't never did nothing for them. And I'm telling you, they'll leave you in a really, really, really bitter spot. And you be like, I ain't doing that for nobody else. It's stupid to do good on this earth. It's stupid to do this and that for people on this earth because look how they treat you. You know what I mean? And so if you've gone through that experience, you got to understand from this perspective, if you are in that bitter place, especially if in that bitter place, because I know everybody get there at one point where you've given and nobody reciprocated right back into you. So you're like, I ain't gonna do that no more. No, you need to give, and it's good to do good in this world. But the thing is, you got to understand who to give it to. And this is where it comes in, where you got to protect that innocence inside of you, because that innocence is that ability to give. It's that godlike quality. It's the godlike energy that you have inside of you. And so, with that being said, you can't give that godlike energy to everybody, and it just is what it is. It's because everybody won't appreciate it. There's a lot of people that spit on it and act like it's nothing at all. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you are the one that's gonna get dragged in the mud. You are the one that's gonna be hurting the worst. You are the one, and other people won't care. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to protect that innocence in a whole bunch of different ways. It's a vulnerability, and it's so important to protect that. Is because if you go out there and you give it to those who don't deserve it, if you surround yourself around individuals who do not understand the value and the price of it, these people is like they'll be stabbing you. They'll be stealing your jewels, from your riches, from your castle. They'll have an infiltrate point where they're able to come in and steal, and take. And you got to understand the nature of people. You got to look at people from their flesh, not not. You got to look at people from their spirit, not their flesh. And what I mean with that is that just because y'all got the same blood type, just because y'all come from the same community, just because of this, and this, it doesn't mean that these people gonna do right by you. And so you just got to understand that. And so with that being said, when you move forward in life, you got to understand, like, I got to treat people according to what their behavior tells me, the way that I need to treat them, how they've been showing it over a long period of time. Is because, again, if not, you're the one that's going to be hurt. And so when you start to protect that innocence, ensuring that you only give it to those who deserve it, you only give those godlike energy, that godlike quality, or whatever the case may be, to people that deserve it, who understand it, and who can appreciate it. Of course, a lot of users, abusers, and whatever the case may be, they're going to have an attitude with you. They're going to make it seem as though you're Adolf Hitler's son, you or the daughter, you're the spawn of Satan. That's how they gonna act like it, because and a lot of these people will genuinely feel like that. But you gotta understand this, because sometimes they can get into your head if you will listen to they malarkey. And this is why you gotta close your ear to these people. You can't patty cake with the devil. You can't listen to what the damn devil got to say to you. But you gotta close your ear gate when you've noticed that people, they don't appreciate what you do in their life. They're taking whatever you give it and they're taking it for granted. You gotta close your ear gates, because of course they're gonna have an attitude trying to manipulate you to bring you back into a dynamic that benefits them, not you. And so this is where you got to understand the protecting of the innocence, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to be assed out. You're the one that's going to be on the floor with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas everybody else, they living good, don't even give a damn that you on the floor. They don't give a damn about how much pain you in fact, a lot of people, they come around stab you on purpose. They trying to stab that innocence on purpose. They want to get in and infiltrate that area and stab it on purpose. And they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And half of these people, they're they lack self-awareness so severely, they don't even understand what they're doing. And then when you try to say something to them, they get an attitude with you. They act like you tripping, you overboard and all that. And it's like, that's when you understand, okay, it's all cool. But you got to recognize, okay, I got to back away from certain individuals. I cannot give what I gave to everybody. I can't do that no more, because nobody appreciates it and nobody understands the value of it. I mean, people understand the value of it when it's gone, but they don't want to give you the credit. There's some people that don't want to give you the credit. There's some people that don't even want to acknowledge what you do. And so you have to acknowledge it and acknowledge, like, okay, it comes a time where I got to protect myself, because nobody else going to care about your peace. Nobody else going to care about your happiness like you are. Nobody, not a damn soul on this earth. There's a lot of people that might want to see you happy, but I'm talking about you. There's a lot of people, they want you to give up your life for them, make all these sacrifices for them, do all this stuff, and be as selfless as possible. But when it comes to the reciprocation, the reverse, the energy, they're extremely selfish. And it's so insidious, because these people can't even give you some type of respect with it. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's to a level where these people don't even respect you. They don't respect you in the way that they might talk to you. They may not respect you in a way that, you know, they'll hit you up for whatever. But then when you got a problem, they ain't gonna pick up the phone. You know, it's a lot of different ways where people will show you the amount of respect that they got for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to pick up on that and watch that. And when you make the decision, you cannot allow that damn devil to get into your ear. And I'm talking about with the devil, I'm talking about his damn children. I'm talking about these people out here, they don't appreciate what you do for them. They don't appreciate it. So you can't let people get into your ear and try to manipulate you back into a situation where you're continuously the one that has to make sacrifices, and nobody make any sacrifices for you. People will be upset, not because of some type of genuine integrity and, you know, some type of actual injustice. They might feel that on their end, but I'm telling you, they lack self-awareness so severely. Like, they don't do any type of self-reflections or anything like that. And they have a very, very selfish mindset. So they will feel like you are wronging them if you don't put on your red capes and boots and go save them every time they need help. But when the reverse is there, they got all the excuses in the world. These people can't even pick up the phone half of the time. But then they want you to go over and cross the 7 seas to pick them up. When they could have did something that was they could have got Uber, but they want you to go across the 7 seas to go pick them up and take them to their house. That was 5 minutes down the road, and they could have got an Uber. But then when you ask for something small, these people act like you are Adolf Hitler, like they can't believe what you're saying. And then when you start to distance yourself and remove these people about your life, they still got a problem. Again, there's a good portion of these people that do not understand why. They truly don't. And it's like, you can't even sit there and explain it to them, because they won't want to listen. They don't understand why, because they don't want to do the self-reflection. When you tell them what it is, they will sit there and go back and forth with you like, no, that's not what it is. That's not, you telling them what it is, and they're saying that it's not what it is. You're arguing with a fool at that point. You can't keep on going forward, because there's nothing in it for you at that point. When you tell them clearly what it is, and then they tell them, no, that's not what it is. You already know what it is. Stop talking, disengage, and now you got to move in silence. There's a good portion of people who truly do not understand. They don't get it. There's another subsection of people, they truly understand it, but they don't care. They're still very, very greedy. They're still narcissistic. They still want whatever they want. They don't care. They want an arrangement where people benefit them, and they're never going to benefit them. I mean, they're never going to benefit the other people that help them. And they know this. They're very conscious of this. They go into relationships, and in certain cases, just as they know that what they're doing. It's not by accident. There's a good portion of people that do that. And there's other portion of people that might be much smaller. They understand, wow, it's a give and take in relationships. You ain't got to like add everything up, but it's like, no, you noticing that this person is going to pour back into you like you poured back in them. And so with that type of individual that's genuine, that's real, and it takes time to find individuals like this. But when you find it, you know what it is, because you ain't got to remind people, or you know what I mean. Like, you ain't got to sit there and try to get people to help. They're gonna jump in. They're not even gonna ask you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing too, with all that being said, you also got to really, really be careful, because there is another like group of people. They will give you things with certain motives behind it. So they will reciprocate, but they're not reciprocating in some type of genuine way. They're reciprocating, or they're giving with the intention of taking more. Okay, so you really got to be conscious of that. There's a large group of people who will give only to take a lot later. It's an investment. And so these people can be very hard to spot, because they seem genuine. They seem like they're trying to help you, but truthfully, their real ulterior motives is to take more than what they've given you. They plan on using it as blackmail against you in the future, or not even blackmail, but they're trying to use it as a way to say, well, look what I've given you. And these are the people you'll realize that they take in tally of everything that they do for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying that you should just take mental notes of what you're doing and how much you're putting out to certain people and what the reciprocation factor is like. Sometimes it's also important to check yourself, because sometimes you can be in positions in your life where you don't even realize that you taking from people, and people might have the wrong idea about you. So this is why sometimes it takes time, discretion, and understanding of who you're dealing with before you go and make decisions that are like final, or you start to cut people about your life or distance yourself. Like, it takes time, you know what I mean? And you got to sometimes give people grace, give them the opportunity to change, give them the opportunity. But when you see that these people are constantly choosing one way, you ain't got to keep on reminding people. You ain't got to get up in people's faces. What will they do naturally? That is what you're trying to get at. You understand what I'm saying? What are people trying to do naturally without your influence? Because regardless of what you do or what you say, people are going to be who they are naturally. And so you don't want to go into relationships or interacting with people in general, and I don't care how long you've known them, you don't want to go in with the mindset of, I'm going to change this person. You want to go in with the mindset of, this person is who they are, and I'm going to change my personal behavior based on who that individual is that I'm interacting with. Some people, they get cut off completely. Other people, you might have certain boundaries or talk to them. Other people, they don't need that much redirection. You know what I mean? Like, but it's all based upon who you are as an individual and what you're willing to give and what you're willing not to give. But all in all, you have to protect that innocent side, that got those godlike qualities, that grace, love, humility, all that stuff. You got to protect that stuff. You got to protect it, because if you give it to the wrong people, they will infiltrate. It's like there's bandits, or there's robbers, or there's, whatever, thieves that's breaking into your castle, stealing all your jewels, and they didn't work hard for it. They don't care. They just want to take it. So you have to care, because you are the one that's going to be the one that is the most damaged at the end of the day, broken at the end of the day, with a mindset. You saw a lot of people, I told you, they get into a bitter mind space. But the thing is, you don't want, if you're at a bitter mind space, or you don't want to, you got to understand that operate in life with wisdom, not fear. And with people who operate in fear, they have a bitter mind space, because it's like they're upset of something that somebody did, and now they're scared about everybody else and everybody else's potential, and they live in a place of just darkness. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to pull yourself up out that place of darkness, especially when you did so much for people, and then they spit in your face at the end of the day, act like you ain't never did nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that would get you bitter. But you got to understand that the wise part about it is, it's like, you know what? I was in the wrong in those situations, and also that other person might have been in the wrong. But ultimately, I'm gonna take it upon myself to recognize I had a role to play in that relationship. I was giving, and people weren't reciprocating. I wasn't watching. I didn't see fully what was going on because of whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I was just giving. Or I didn't adequately set up boundaries to my giving. You know what I mean? And as a result, I was the one that was hurt at the end of the day, not nobody else. And so moving forward, I understand maybe somebody did me dirty, but in the same vein, I got to recognize the part that I play by letting these people in, or not checking at the door, or like not watching them. So now moving forward, I'm still going to allow people in, but I'm going to check for red flags. I'm going to check for things, and I'm going to ensure that people earn that right to get to that inner core of you. You know what I'm saying? That, like, those true godlike qualities, You let people work to get that. They gotta work and they gotta show consistent behavior over a period of time. It's like it's nothing faking, because the people that's want to fake it with you, the people that's trying to take from you, the people when they come into your life, they try to get in real fast. They're trying to get in real good because they want to over jump all the boundaries. They want to jump over the vetting process that you have to do. And so these are typically the ones that's going to be taking the most and hurting you the most. Okay. And then they will get up, laugh, and then run off to the next person or the next situation. Again, this could be family too. This could be at your workplace too. This could be, this could be all over the place. This could be friend groups. You know what I'm saying? So don't just limit it. You got to look at people from people or people. You got to take titles out of the situation. Titles will blind you to reality because you thinking a title is supposed to act a certain type of way. But truthfully, people, if their spirit ain't right, they ain't gonna be right. If they ain't good on the interior, they're gonna tear you up to smithereens. They don't care. And so that's why you have to care. You have to understand people gonna have problems. People probably will talk about you. People will turn their back on you. They'll get other people to turn their back, but sometimes these are blessings. These are blessings. You'll have peace at the end of the day because people can't get to their inner core and they're gonna be mad because they can't take from you. They can't walk all up over you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to feel guilty or feeling wrong when people, they come and they try to institute shame and guilt over you to get you to do whatever they want you to do. You don't have to feel bad, and you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? People, they want to just take and never give. You know what I'm saying? If you in a season where you just want to give, that's on you personally. But when you know you want some type of reciprocation, you cannot force people to be who they're not. You cannot force people to do something that they don't want to do. You cannot force people to be whatever you want them to be, whatever title. People in human nature will trump anything else. Titles, where you're from, this, it trumps everything else. Human nature. So it does not matter. So that's why you gotta look at people from what their actions show you, what their spirit is, not their flesh. And when you do this type of approach and you try your best to take your emotions about of what has happened to you in the past and stuff like that, it's hard and it takes time. It's hard in it, but when you work through the trauma, you work through what you did and what other people did, you get wiser, you get stronger. And so now when you're out there again, you're not moving from a place of fear and timidity. You're moving from a place of wisdom and strength and confidence. Because even if you run into somebody else that might not be the best for you, you recognize, okay, this is another tier. It's levels to this. Some people, they at the bottom of the bottom. You recognize, okay, I can't work with certain people at the bottom of the bottom. Then you move up to the next tier. Now these people are a little bit sneakier, but they still at the bottom. And so you recognize, okay, these people, they be acting a little way, but you still know you can't mess with these type of people. Then you get to another tier. These people are very good actors and actresses, but then you'll see in time who they are. And so in time, your vetting process will get better and better and better and better. You're not gonna get it on the first try. You shouldn't feel bad or about what you've given, and maybe you got dragged through the mud. Everybody go through it. A lot of people just will never admit it. So with that being said, that's why you gotta understand who you are as a person. That takes time, energy, and effort on your part. It takes time, energy, effort, and oftentimes it takes you to go through these painful situations that you learn more about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You learn more about yourself through the pain that you go through, And so with that being said, the stuff that you endure, I know it don't feel like it, but it's a blessing when you come in contact with certain people, because you realize the value of what you have on the interior. You will understand the value of your jewels. When you're starting off in life, you don't really truly understand the value of your jewels, but you'll understand it when you go out there and you go into things. But you also want to use wisdom, because you don't want to just go through hell your whole life necessarily. You want to get better with time. You want to learn better in time, but you're going to mess up. You're going to have mistakes, and it's okay. But the more important thing is, how will you react in tomorrow? How will you change this dynamic tomorrow or today? How can you change your today to get better tomorrow? That is what is more so important. You're not dead. You damn near feel like you dead sometimes with certain people, or like what you've been through. You damn near feel like you there, but you're not dead just yet. You take some time to heal. It takes some time to really go through and process what the heck you just went through. And I'm talking about processing the point where you're not even really delving deep in it. You just, sometimes, it's just a pain period. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you got shot in your arm. There's the time where people may not even necessarily be able to operate it with it. Just go with me. Just go with me. It comes a time where you have to just endure pain. You know what I'm saying? But then at some point you can go in and get the operation done. But there's a point where you just got to endure the pain that you just got shot. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's little you can do with that. But then once you get over that hump, you get out that emotional, mental, haze or whatever the case may be. Then you get to another part where you're able to do the surgery to get the bullet out or whatever. You know what I mean? That's when you are still might be some type of emotion. 'Cause there's still gonna be pain there, but in the same vein, you got logic a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. So, but all in all, you have to protect those precious jewels. You have to protect those godlike qualities. You have to protect that what is innocent, what is good, and what is holy. And you can only give that to people who truly understand the value of it. If you give it to every Tom, Dick, and Sally, people will drag you up and down this beautiful country. They will drag you everywhere. And you are the only one that's going to be broken and hurt. Everybody else is going to be over there living a best life based off of what you have given them. And they don't care that they didn't put back into you. They don't care. It's all about them. So understand that. And then when you're moving forward, hey man, just be careful and just watch. You got to do the vetting process and ensure that you are the one, you are the protector of what is innocent, of what is good, of what is holy on the interior. So with all that being said, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.